The Caddo Bruins boys basketball team with a home court against the Coalgate Wildcats. Caddo with it here. Dallas Williams with a nice dish inside to Corbin Stoner for the easy bucket. Coach Johnson approves of that play, but here comes Coalgate in transition. Trevor Talley just putting his head down and driving to the basket. Count the bucket and the foul. Help that man up. That got Coach Cater's attention, but back comes Caddo. Dallas Williams open for three. He knocks it down. Bruins win tonight 68-40.